Hey guys, Matt Bishop here. We are backstage at Musikfest 2013 here in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. I'm with John Cooper of Skillet. What's going on, man?
What's up?
Thanks
Good
for
to
joining
see you.
me.
Thank you. Nice to see you too, man.
Excited to be here, man? You guys are
very
headlining?
pumped up. Yeah. I've been looking at the list of all the bands that have been in and out, you know? That's what all the bands do. If anybody out there wants to know, that's what bands do. When we come into the dressing room, we look at all the other bands. Oh, cool. So-and-so is here, you know? It's like that. Yeah, very excited.
You guys are just coming off another festival, though, a huge festival, Creation Fest. How was that this year?
It was awesome. I think we played Creation like 12 times or something, you know? So it's kind of, it feels like, you know, home a little bit, like, yeah, going back again, you know. They were one of the first festivals we ever played at in our whole career. So going to headline was a little like, you know, it's a little dreamy. If you want a little like check it off the list.
Kind of validation that, you know, all right, now we're doing this thing now.
Exactly, yeah, it's very cool.
All right, awesome. You guys, new album, man. Rise is out, hit number 4 on Billboard. Congrats.
Thank you. Thanks so much.
What is that like for you guys? I mean, you guys had an album hit number 2 on Billboard. When you guys look at, you know, the numbers and the charts and stuff, is that something that kind of registers as an achievement, or is it just kind of icing on the cake? It's all about the live show and the fans and...
Well, it absolutely is about the fans. I mean, no matter... It's always been that way, no matter if you're selling at all, you know, 50 people come or 5,000 people come. It's all about you connecting with them, writing a song that they can sing back to you. That's the best, you know. But yeah, you can't help but look at numbers, and you want to know how you're doing. And I remember that, you know, you mentioned our last record, that hit number 2. I remember thinking, if we could get top 30, I would be so excited. And I remember, you know, my label calling to say, we think we're going to come in top 10. And I was like, no way, they're ridiculous. And it got closer. It looks like it might be top 5. And then it was, you know, number 2. I was just freaking out. So you're supposed to play it cool, but I don't know how to play it cool. When I first heard us on the radio, I just went mental. And it was right after they played One by Metallica. So it was kind of like, I was just listening to the radio and One was on, which I love, of course, and then, you know, Monster came on, and I just freaked out. It was like a little girl calling on my friends. We're on the radio, man!
But that's cool, though. I think when you guys get to a point where you stop getting excited about that stuff, it's time to hang it up,
yeah,
man. You know, you gotta be fans of yourself and other bands, and you know, that's what music's all about.
I think so too. I think a lot of people, you know, they want to play it down because you want to look cool, but there's no way you can't get excited when you meet Lars. You know, or I met Lars a couple years ago. You know, it was one of those. I met Tommy Lee 2 weeks ago. We played with Motley Crue for the first time, and I just told him, I'm like, you guys are going to need extra security backstage for me. You know, if Metallica, I mean, if the crew walks in, I'm going to freak. You know, so yeah, I think you got to keep a little bit of that. It's not just love of rock and roll, you know, love of the game kind of mentality, and that's the reason I love playing live so much. You know, as you asked, it's all about going up there and leaving it on the stage, you know, and that excitement of these people paid, and I want them coming back, and I want them leaving like this, you know. Oh my gosh, that was awesome, you know.
Speaking of leaving it on the stage, we've been talking to the Musikfest people. I'm shooting photography later, and there's something about a 15-foot flame that's like coming out, and we have to stay back. And
they want
you.
They want you 15
like
feet
that
away.
Awesome.
No,
Yes.
It's not a 15-foot flame. It's a 30-foot flame, but it's
all right.
It's up in the air.
All right. Okay.
No, yeah, you know, we put a lot into our show. I have that Kiss mentality. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like it needs to be a spectacle. You know, back when rock shows were like, you know, your mind was blown. You know, the '90s kind of changed that. You know, there's different philosophies of music and performance throughout generations, and I'm a little bit more in line with the kind of 1980s, like over the top, just like 80s action flicks, like Die Hard, you know, and those movies. It definitely changes, and the 90s kind of came in and was like, you know, it's all about stripping it back and keeping it real, and I really love that. When I went to see the U2 360 tour, did you see? I mean, that was like Close Encounters meets like the greatest music of all time. And I was like, that's what shows are supposed to be like. That's my personal philosophy. So yeah, there's a lot of production on stage. it's very theatrical, and I think it helps the lyrics come across. It makes you feel it more because you're impacted by the show. That's a personal belief of mine. Me and Gene Simmons share that in common.
The new album, Rise, it's out now. Go grab a copy if you haven't already. I feel like there's a lot more going on this record. It's like Awake, but the sound is just expanded. And it's a bit of a concept album lyrically, if you want to call it
That's right. Definitely, you know, Skillet has had a lot of different sounds throughout our history. And one of the things I actually feel the Rise kind of went back to from a few records ago that a lot of people don't necessarily know is our sound has been very complex in the past. It's been a little more what I call musical, a little more dynamic, and I think this record is a little more dynamic than Awake. There's a lot of keyboard programming and a lot of string orchestration and things happening, and I think that's kind of a little bit unique to Skillet. To me, it takes it a little bit more back to 70s arena rock, which I really love. I'm a big Fleetwood Mac fan, and yes, you know, Kansas, I like that era a lot. And you can hear bits and pieces of that in our sound.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Tell me about the video that you guys just put out. Sick of It?
Yeah.
That is a pretty neat, lot of visual stuff going on here, man. It's pretty awesome.
Oh, thank you. Sick of It was... The idea for Sick of It started from a viral campaign. And that was basically, we wrote the song Sick of It, and it's talking about there are things in our lives that are worth getting angry about. And that may be addictions or abuse or, you know, self-loathing, insecurity, whatever it is in your life that you would like to see change. It's okay to get angry about it. And so we invited our fans, actually all the band members, we posted pictures of art that we made of something we were each sick of, and we invited fans to do that. I thought it was really cool because so much in music, it's all about the way the singer feels. You know, I feel this, I feel that, I'm going through this, and I thought, I want to hear what our fans are sick of. You know, I want to know what you're going through. And so you can go to it, and there's like thousands of people turning in their own pictures of what they're sick of, and that is what the video kind of, you know, spawned off of that, which was that we are going through life, but we have something that's maybe hidden, you know, that you don't know about. And so the video, that's why people are going through their kind of mundane lives, and then they look in the mirror, all of a sudden something pops up on their forehead, like, you know, depression, and it says it, or whatever. And when they kind of raise their hands, they're kind of sent to the rock world where Skill is playing, this arena full of people that are all kind of, I guess, letting go of all of these things they're sick of, and it's supposed to be like you know, an experience where it's being drawn out of them. So that was the idea for the video. It's a little bit metaphysical.
Well, I think you guys captured that perfectly. You know, it's the rock experience, and it's that release. You know,
Absolutely.
Coming to not just a Skillet show, any show.
That's right. That's what I think music. So it does for me.
Well, I'm looking at my watch here. We got to wrap up this interview, and in just a couple days, August 11th, Sound of Madness, no, Carnival of Madness tour kicks off.
Yes.
Skillet, Shinedown, Papa Roach, you guys excited?
Absolutely. The only thing I would be more excited about would maybe be being on the Sound of Madness tour with Metallica. But yes, very excited about it. Great list of bands. And in fact, you know, we've toured with Shinedown and Papa Roach in the past, so we're good friends. I love the bands. I think it's going to be an absolutely awesome tour, playing new music and having a good time. Rock it out.
Very cool, man. Dude, thank you so much for joining me.
Good to see
I greatly
you,
appreciate it. John Cooper of Skillet. Ladies and gentlemen, the new album Rise is out now, so go grab a copy if you haven't already.
Yeah.
Headlining Musikfest tonight, the Sand Steel Stage, and August 11th, the Carnival of Madness tour. Skillet, Shinedown, Papa Roach. It kicks off. Get your tickets and get ready to crank it up.
Yes.